Hi Pokefans, welcome back to part 9 of my Pokemon Violet Nuzlocke. Last episode, we went ahead and defeated the Quaking Earth Titan as well as the Psychic Gem in Afronada City. In this episode, we'll be finally going ahead and completing all the 8 gems. We do have one left, which is Glacido Gem, and I'm gonna be challenging it in today's episode. After that, we will try and see if we can defeat the Fairy Crew. I'm really excited for today's episode, so let's quickly go ahead. As for my team members, I've gone ahead and leveled them up a bit more. As you can see, most of them are around level 47 to 48. I don't think I do have to level them up too much, considering that the next gem that we are going to is going to be around the same level. Maybe for the Fairy Crew, probably I do have to level them up. But for now, we are good for the gym. So let me quickly go ahead and make my way to Glacido City Gym and challenge the gym leader. Last time when I was in Glacido Mountain, I actually explored the whole mountain and defeated most of the trainers I could find. And that's the reason how I was easily able to just fly here. If you haven't really come here, I think the easier way for you to travel is from Montenevera City Gym. If you have defeated at least 4 titans by now, I think you'll have the ability to go ahead and glide, so that will be quite helpful as well. Right here is the gym test, which is pretty unique for Glacido Gym. As you can see, it's kind of like a skiing slope, and we do have to ride up Pokemon till the down. We also, I think, have to hit those flags. I'm not really sure if that's necessary, or we can just skip it. Either way, I'm gonna try and see if I can hit all of them. As far as these goals go, I think most of them are pretty easy, but there is one that is very tricky. It is gonna come up pretty soon. I think it's the red one right here, which I actually missed. I'm not really sure how you can actually hit it. Let me know in the comment section if you were able to go through all of these. I have tried this one before in my playthrough as well, and I wasn't able to actually hit that one. But other than that, the others are pretty far positioned, so you can actually go ahead and go through them easily. Either way, as usual, we have passed this gym test as well. Pretty cool. Let me know in the comment section which gym test you really like. In my case, I think I would opt for Medali City gym test. With the clues, it is really amazing to actually go through it. But of course, there are quite a few other of them which I really like. For example, the Glacido Gem test as well. Either way, now that we have completed the test, we're finally able to go ahead and challenge the gym leader. Alright, here we are. The only question I have for this one is, where did all of these people come from? This is not even a city, there is no house here. Did they travel from Montenevera City to just come and see this gym battle? Or I'm really not sure. Either way, let me know your guesses in the comment section, I guess. I think they're from Montenevera City because that's the closest one. But they might be those trainers who are randomly just standing on the path as well. Either way, here is Grusha, the gym leader. I think I'm actually ready, so let's go with this. Now, even though this gym is supposed to be quite easy, I think it's trickier since it's the final gym. If you have a solid fire type Pokemon, then I think it's pretty easy to kind of defeat. In my case, I only have Talonflame, so I have to be a bit careful considering Talonflame is, after all, part flying. As usual, Grusha will actually start with her Frostmoth, which is a pretty amazing Pokemon if it's able to kind of use Quiver Dance and other stuff. In my case, I just want it taken down. Right here, lucky for me, I was able to take it down in one hit. Now, as far as the moveset go, I think I have picked up a Flamethrower TM. I'm not really sure about that. I think I should have kind of checked my back before this gym. Would have probably helped me with the move. Currently the only move I have is Flame Charge, and I'm really not sure if this is enough for Cetitan right there. Cetitan is a pretty powerful Pokemon, even though it's a ice type. It is quite strong, so definitely if you have flamethrower, I think it's a much easier win. In my case, I only have flame charge, hence I'm hoping that I'll be able to kind of defeat it. Right here my video had a bit of a glitch, so you weren't able to see that move, but as you can see, I got pretty badly hit. That is really not good. I do have to at this point switch out to another team member and see how it goes. In this case, I just chose to use Gardevoir up in front, just because it has a really good special attack stat, and I think I'll be able to kind of take this Pokemon down. It seems like, ooh, that's the reason why it didn't really affect it. So apparently Sititan actually has Thick Fat, which is a really good ability where it kind of lowers the damage from fire type move. Either way, I think Gardevoir right here will be able to kind of take it down. My Gardevoir also has a fire type Terra typing, hence it does have the move Mystical Fire. As you can see right here, that was pretty good damage. And Sititan actually knows Liquidation. So probably for this Pokemon, I would recommend you guys switch out into another team member rather than using your fire type team member. Lucky for me, I was able to take it down in 2 hits. There we go. But I guess I can't really switch back into Talonflame. For now, I decided to go ahead and keep Gardevoir up in front. The next Pokemon up is Betic. It's pretty powerful, but it doesn't have that good of a special defense, so you could actually kind of take it down if you have a fire type Pokemon, especially if it's Terrorized. In my case, sadly, it used Earthquake, which did a crit hit, and I lost my Gardevoir. This is really not that good because I was hoping to keep Gardevoir up for the fighting crew. By the way, that is the last Team Star group that I do have to defeat. I was hoping to have Gardevoir for it, but now that it's gone, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Right here, I decided to switch into Floatzel and try using Brick Break. I guess I should have switched out Gardevoir. I didn't really know that Betic would actually use Earthquake right there. Maybe it's my mistake for not looking up its moveset. Well, either way, I think I do have to keep up Floatzel up in front even for the last team member. Here comes Altaria, the most powerful team member that Grusha actually has, and it terrestrializes into a Ice type. I can definitely still use Brick Break, but I'm not really sure how good it's gonna be. Alright, I guess it's time for me to see if my Floatzel can survive a couple of turns and take down her Altaria. If not, I guess I do have to switch into some other team member. I feel like Ice Terra typing suits Altaria since its color scheme is almost the same. Although I do have to say this was a really bad gym battle. Right here I got not only crit hit from the Hurricane, I also got confused. My Floatzel is literally struggling right now and I'm not really sure which Pokemon I can actually switch into. I think maybe I can switch into Luxray, but unfortunately once more Luxray doesn't learn Thunderbolt. So I haven't yet picked up the Thunderbolt TM, which I do have to pick up at some point. By the way, if you are looking for the location for Thunderbolt TM, it is in between the path from Asado Desert to the port city. I cannot believe the luck of this gym leader. Once more the Hurricane move actually confused my Luxray. For this turn, I just decided to go ahead with Volt Switch. Hopefully I'll be able to hit the Altaria without getting confused and hitting myself. Okay, at least I was able to tank the move, Ice Beam. And it seems like I was able to at least have my Luxray hit the Altaria, so that is good. The more difficulty for me now is to decide which Pokemon to switch into. I really can't switch into my ground type Pokemon because ground is weak against ice. So I guess it's gonna be my rock type Pokemon right here. I think this is one of the worst gym battles I've had till now. And that too, this is the last gym. But I guess I have no other choice but to just switch into my crystal right here. Oh well, if I lose the challenge right here, that's it I guess. At least it does have some super effective moves and I'm hoping that this heavy slam will actually hit. I'm a bit scared of that ice beam, but as you can see, I didn't have to worry too much. My Pokemon was able to tank it and take it down. So maybe my first choice should have been this Pokemon right here. Would have made this battle so much easier, but anyway, I guess we did at least defeat the gym leader and not lose the challenge right here. Oh well, that is I think the 6th death of this Nuzlocke. But before we go ahead and place Corey back into the box, let me go ahead and get my final gym badge right here. And of course the hilarious photo as usual. It's pretty cool to see that gym leaders are pretty tough in this game. There we go. There is our last gym badge. Now that we have actually completed all the gyms, here is our 2 main supporters. One being Champion Nimona and the other one being Champion Geeta. Both of them are just telling me where I have to go next, which is in this case the Pokemon League building, to kind of take our champion assessment and go through the Elite 4 test. But of course, for now I'll be going ahead and completing the other quest, that is defeating the only remaining Titan as well as the 2 Team Star crew that are available. In this episode, I have decided to go ahead and challenge the fairy crew as well. Before we challenge them, I do need a couple different poison type Pokemon which I can actually find around Glacido Mountain, so let me actually go ahead and catch them. Sadly, since my Gardevoir has fainted, I do have to go ahead and keep it in the death box. So let me go ahead and do that right here. Even though I have lost Gardevoir in today's gym battle, I'm really happy that we came so far and defeated all 8 gyms, which I wasn't really sure at the beginning. Definitely this Nuzlocke challenge has been pretty interesting. I'm also interested to see how we can actually defeat the rest of the crew as well as challenge the champion assessment. Alright, right here is our next team member, and it's actually a Primeape with a Poison Terra type. The main reason I'm finding these Pokemons is because currently the only Pokemon with Poison Terra type is actually Dunsparce. I think I need more of them. Fairy type Pokemon after all are pretty strong, and I do need to kind of have a good team before I actually challenge the fairy crew. I think I'll go ahead and catch this Primeape right here and also try to kind of evolve it to make sure that it's more powerful. That way I think it will make the fairy crew battle a bit more easier. If you didn't know, the last 2 of the Team Star crew, I kind of always felt that they are a bit tougher, especially if you don't have a specific Pokemon that you can actually use against them. Right here we have Primeape, and I'm just hoping that I'll be able to break its transformation and catch it before it dies due to that burn right there. There we go. In the second turn, I think we have broken its transformation. Yep. Let me go ahead and catch this one with a Archer Ball as usual. I'm just afraid that I might actually lose this one. Hoping that we'll be able to catch it in the first Archer Ball. And we do catch it. Alright, so that is Primeape, our new team member. At least it's a temporary team member until I kind of get a final team. I haven't really thought about the team members I'm going to use against the Elite Four. Maybe in a future episode, you'll just see me catching a couple different Pokemons who I'm going to probably use for my main team. Either way, now that we have got the Primeape, let me actually name it. In this case, I'm just gonna name it Prime. And I will also go ahead and add this one to my team later. After traveling quite a long distance, I was finally able to find my next team member. It's actually this Sliggoo right here with a poison type. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm definitely gonna use this one because Sliggoo is actually a dragon type Pokemon and using it against fairy type is definitely not that good. But I think it's gonna be kind of like a backup team member just in case something actually goes wrong during my fight against Ortega. Alright, let's go ahead and actually catch this one. I do have to, by the way, train them up and level them up a bit more before I can actually use them. As you can see, Sliggoo right here is at level 30 and I think I do have to have it around level 50 to at least use it. One good thing is that I was able to break its transformation in one hit, which means I do have a chance of catching it right here with an Ultra Ball. Let me quickly do that. And I think we have got this one as well. There we go, another new team member for our team. I guess a temporary team member is what I have to say. I'm not really sure if I do want to kind of use it in my final team. Sliggoo or Goodra is a really good dragon type Pokemon, but poison type isn't something I'm going for in my final team, so I'm not really sure if I have to actually use it. It does have a good moveset though. Now that I have it, I'm not sure if I actually named it. I guess I did. Yup, I did name it Slug. Probably I should have gone with Snail, but I guess it's gonna be Slug for now. Here is the last Pokemon I'm gonna be catching before we challenge the Fairy Crew. You can find this Esprata right next to Alfrenada City. By the way, I think it's much closer to the waterfalls. But it is having a Steel Terra type, which is really good. I do have a Flinx, which is a Steel Terra type as well, but I'm too lazy to kind of level it up. Currently it is at level 30 and leveling up a Pokemon for 20 levels is kind of a huge work. I'm already trying to do that for Sliggoo, so I'm not really sure if I want to take up another Pokemon to level it up. In this case, I'll go with Esprata right here. It's a pretty amazing Pokemon and it's definitely gonna help me with the fighting crew as well. So I think it's worth catching this. But of course, before we do anything, I do have to catch it. Definitely it did put up quite a good fight, but as you can see, I am struggling to kind of, make sure that I don't accidentally kill it when I'm trying to catch it. Ooh, another thing, it's not next to Alfrenada City. I'm really sorry about that. This is actually in Glacido Mountain and it's next to that passage that you can actually find. I forgot the name. I think it's Dalipo Passage. That's where you will be able to actually find this one. And as you can see, it's actually giving me quite a lot of trouble. At some point, I actually decided to just let it go. I just thought it's best to just leave it if it doesn't want to get caught. Here is the second turn of me trying and using an Ultra Ball. But of course, it does not want to get caught. Alright, at some point I do have to switch out. I don't want to lose my Dunsparce, or Dunsparce in this case, just before the Fairy Crew fight. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch out. Let me go into Luxray, who is much stronger and can tank a couple of Psychic type moves. Alright, let me try using another Ultra Ball. But of course I do get hit by Flash Cannon right here. Lucky for me, it does not do that good of a damage. This is the third Ultra Ball. Hopefully we can catch it. Never mind. Alright, I'm not really sure if I have to just give up and leave this Pokemon be right here. Um, I think when I was actually recording this video, I was so frustrated with this one. I just wanted to switch off the game. But I'm gonna just go ahead and try another one. Never mind, that is also not gonna work. Okay, I guess we are gonna do this all day long. Let me go ahead and use my 5th Ultra Ball on one Pokemon. I mean, in context, the other Pokemons that I've caught have never given me this much of an issue. I was able to at least catch them in 1 or 2 Ultra Balls, but this is ridiculous. I have gone through like 6 Ultra Balls and I'm still not able to actually catch it. One good thing of Wild Terra Pokemons is that if you can't really catch it, go ahead and come out of the battle, challenge them once more. You can actually go ahead and do that. But I didn't want to waste more time, so I went ahead and used Thunder Wave, which is a move I have on Luxray. I think now we should have more chance of actually catching it. Hopefully, this is the 7th Ultra Ball I'm using. I think we'll get a critical capture. That we do. Alright. Also, by the way, I have not bought even 1 Ultra Ball till now. All of these are just random Ultra Balls I picked up around the area. So I haven't really spent that much of a Pokemon for this game. I don't think I even bought the healing items. I feel like this goes underappreciated, but you really don't have to spend any money when you are going through a game. You can just randomly find healing potions, items that you can use, berries, as well as Ultra Balls and Great Balls just walking around. So you really don't have to buy stuff. I think the only stuff I actually bought were the held items that I give to my Pokemon. Those ones are quite rare in the outworld, so I think only held items are better to just being bought rather than trying to find them. Either way, seems like we have Clive right here, and he is definitely explaining us quite a few things on what he is doing. However, if you go closer to the Fairy Crew gate, you can see that there is a new character right here. He's actually named Harrington, and apparently he is the older director of our academy, which is a really cool detail that they have given us right here. This is the main reason why I really like the Starfall storyline. It's just amazing. I guess he is actually asking us to indulge with him in this battle, which I guess we can honor him with the battle. But of course, he is here for piano lessons on for Master Ortega, which is surprising. Either way, we can definitely go ahead and defeat his Pokemons. Even though his Pokemons are around level 48 to 49, they are not fully evolved, so they're not going to be that tough. Right here, even though I haven't really leveled up my team member, I'm still easily able to do quite a good damage against him and defeat his Pokemons pretty easily. The one thing I found that was pretty interesting is that we only have 4 Pokemons which you can actually find in the wild with Fairy Tail type. And out of the 4 of them, I think around 3 of the Pokemons are pretty good. One is an Altaria, which you can find for level 50. The other one is an Azumarill, which I think is very helpful considering that Azumarill is part Fairy type. The other one I think is Mimikyu, which is also a Fairy type Pokemon, so definitely that is pretty good. Also, Mimikyu I think will come at level 65, so if you want to have a pretty strong Pokemon without kind of training it up, I think catching the Mimikyu would be probably better. The last one is a Sylveon, but since I have actually banned myself from using EV evolution Pokemons, I'm not gonna be catching the Sylveon. It's pretty easy to kind of win this game if you have like 6 different EVs with their own type kind of boosting their power. But back to this battle, his second Pokemon is a Hatterene, which is pretty easy once more to defeat with a Flash Cannon. Although it does take a couple of turns just because of the fact that I haven't really crystallized my Pokemon here. I think it's still pretty easy to defeat it if you have a really powerful physical type move. The only thing I think I'm a bit worried about is the fact that I do have to at least try and defeat the fairy crew. Definitely I have struggled to defeat Ortega right here before as well when I went through my playthrough. Maybe it's just that I don't have a really good team member to kind of take him down. Either way, let's quickly try to defeat this trainer right here. Alright, I think I still need a couple of turns, but at least I am not taking too much of a damage. I could definitely go with the other moves, even though they are not that effective. They probably would take it down, but I'm not too worried. It's surprising that Hatcham actually learns Dazzling Gleam. It's a pretty powerful fairy type move and definitely quite good if you have it in your moveset. I was hoping to kind of have Gardevoir. Like I said before, Gardevoir can be pretty tanky if you are using it against a fairy type Pokemon. But unfortunately, I lost it in the gym battle, so I won't be able to use it right here. Either way, now that I have defeated him, let me go ahead and I guess train up my team members a bit more before we can actually challenge Ortega as well as his fairy crew. I'll be very honest, it took me quite some time to go ahead and level up my team members. I not only had to level up the Pokemons I actually caught, I had to go back and train up my other team members as well. So it did take me kind of, I think, more than a day for this one. But here we are finally. I'm hoping we'll be able to defeat Ortega after, training up my team members up to level 51. As usual, we do have to defeat 30 Pokemons before we can actually challenge the boss right here. In this case, I think it will be pretty easy. The landscape here is very easy for me to actually go around and challenge all of these Pokemons. Unlike some of the other places, I'm hoping once more I can actually defeat all the Pokemons within 1 minute. It has been quite a challenge, but I have been able to do it for the last 3 days. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do the same here as well. Seems like we are almost there. 15 Pokemons done within 30 seconds. I think we'll be able to defeat them if I'm able to focus and take them down. Sadly, right here, my Primeape actually went down. So I did have to kind of go in with only 2 Pokemons, but I think I'm still pretty fine. Alright, last 10 seconds. Hopefully I can defeat them. 5 more Pokemons left. Ooh, we're so close. And did we... okay. It did take me more than a minute. And I think around 4 to 5 seconds more than that. But of course, we were able to defeat them. Alright, so it was a minute and 10 seconds. I guess I could have kind of maybe defeated them if I had 3 Pokemons at the end. But either way, here comes the boss of this group. This automobile, by the way, looks pretty weird. I'm not a big fan of the coloring scheme for it. I do understand that the scheme is because of the fairy type, which is pink in color. Either way, I think we are gonna have a pretty good battle against Ortega right here. As usual, we have a small cutscene with him where he confronts us and tells that he will not let us win. Which in this case, let's see how that goes. Definitely I am a bit nervous. As usual, he starts with his Azumarill. So I would recommend, starting with your electric type Pokemon rather than, trying to use your poison type Pokemon right here. The Azumarill will be at level 50, which is pretty high. Now as you can see, my Luxray is at level 51. So definitely I'm not going to be one-shotting most of these team members. But I think we'll still be able to defeat him if we are a bit careful. Azumarill will mostly go for fairy type moves, so I'm not too worried about switching out into my talent frame right here. In the next turn, I'm hoping that I'll be fast enough to go ahead and take it down with the A-Release. Alright, not bad. We are faster and we were able to take down his first team member. Let's see which one is next. Ooh, okay. Wigglytuff is next. So when it comes to Wigglytuff, I would definitely recommend going ahead and switching into your poison type Pokemon. This is where, he will more focus on only fairy type Pokemons. So if you have a poison type Pokemon, it's pretty strong against it. In my case, I decided to go ahead with Primeape and try using Poison Jab. Definitely did quite a good damage against it and poisoned it as well, which is pretty cool. But Wigglytuff in this case actually used Charm, which is not that great. But at least I didn't get hit, so that's good. Okay, I can just switch out in the next turn and not worry about the Charm. There we go. That was very much better, I think, than what I expected. Next up is Dutch Bun. I can either switch out or keep it in. In this case, I wanted to kind of switch out because of the Charm. I'm not really sure whom I can actually switch out into though. By the way, if you are not seeing my Sliggoo here, it's because I actually decided not to go ahead and use it. It's risky to kind of go with a dragon type Pokemon when you know that you're going against a fairy type. In this case, I finally decided to go with Floatzel against Dutch Bun. It's gonna be tough, but I think we'll be able to defeat it before it defeats us. So that's gonna be the key. For the first turn, I went with Liquidation. Not bad. I was hoping for a bit more power, but I think unless it rains, I don't think Liquidation is gonna be that good. At least I did avoid his move. That's good. Next one, I went with Brick Break, which I should have known wouldn't really do that much of a damage. Just because of the fact that it's actually a fighting type move, but either way I went with it. For the third turn, I went once more with Liquidation and it went with Play Rough. I think I'll be able to survive one more turn. I think I won't go down unless he gets a crit hit. At this point, I had to actually risk it, so I went with another Liquidation. He went with, I guess, lowering my attack, which is definitely showing up right here. Lucky for me, his Dutch Bun also had a defense decrease, so I think I'll be able to take it down in the fifth turn right here. Alright, not bad. We are definitely doing very much better than I thought, so I'm pretty happy about it. Now that we have defeated 3 of his main team members, he is going to be bringing out his automobile right here. This is definitely tougher. I definitely do have to switch out, but I'm not pretty sure which Pokemon I do have to switch out into. I definitely do not want to switch into Dunsparce. I don't want it to take any damage. So I decided to go ahead with Luxray. Let's see if we can defeat this Starmobile as fast as we can. I really don't want it to up its defense or attack and try destroying my team. So it seems like it started with Steamroller, which is a really good move. But I don't think it's that good against my Luxray, so alright, pretty good damage. This turn, let me go with Volt Switch, which should be able to help me switch out easily. In this case, I hope I do kind of hit the move without getting confused. Okay, Spike is confused. And thankfully we were able to use the Volt Switch. Pretty cool. So now I can easily go ahead and switch into Dunsparce. I guess I'll probably terrestrialize it as well to kind of power up the move and then take down the Starmobile. There we go. Now, as far as I've seen for the moveset on Dunsparce, the only move that is poison type which it can actually learn is Poison Tail. So I'm kind of going with it right here. If I am able to kind of teach some other moves to my other team members, maybe in the future I'll go ahead, pick up those TMs and kind of teach them. For now, let's see if we can take down this Starmobile. There you go. Now my Pokemon is terrestrialized. The Poison Tail will definitely do more damage. Unfortunate for me, here the Starmobile actually used Confuse Ray, or I should probably address it as Revroom. I'm just hoping I don't get confused and hit myself. Alright, I guess this turn I was able to hit it and definitely did quite a good damage, so that's good. Since I have terrestrialized it into a poison type, the magical talk doesn't really do too much damage. But of course my Dunsparce is confused and it hit itself on the second turn. Let me try that once more. Hopefully this turn I don't hit myself and actually hit the Pokemon. Never mind. So it seems like I'm hitting myself. Let me try that once more. Hopefully this time I can at least hit it. I actually just need 3 turns to kind of take down the Starmobile. Hopefully we'll be able to take it down within the 3 turns. There we go. The next turn we were able to hit. And the next one as well. I think my Dunsparce actually came out of confusion and that's the reason why it's working. One more turn left. And I get confused once more. Okay. Hopefully I don't hit myself in the next turn. Going with Poison Tail once more. I am confused. And alright, so Dunsparce was able to hit even though it was confused and took down his Starmobile. That was pretty amazing. This battle definitely went pretty well. I really thought I would lose another team member, but I did not, so that was really good. And now that we have defeated Ortega, we'll be going ahead and getting the 4th Team Star badge as well. Pretty amazing. Leaving this, I think we only have 2 more things left to do in this game. One is to defeat the last Titan and the other one is to go ahead and challenge the fighting crew. Before that, I also have to kind of catch a couple different Terra Pokemons to kind of add to my team. So probably I'll be doing that in the next episode. Here is the photo and this one's pretty cool. I really like it. I think the funniest one was from the Cathrafa gym, which I really liked. Either way, we have completed defeating the gym as well as the fairy crew right here. So I think it's a really good point for me to go ahead and end out this episode. If you guys like this episode, please go ahead, like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.